So welcome to second half of part 5 of our series, No True Hope Without Christ, and trying to wrap it up. So we are covering the transgression of the law, what it means, and also the root child words to the word iniquity. So the three words that we said we will cover is the word Awa, Adama, and Aki. That also means, them words also means hidden sins. Okay. Of course, it would be in a different language. So, what we discovered in Once a Week Christians is that they hate this topic because they probably discovered that they are fighting with this. I, my two, are fighting with this. Okay, so I'm not saying that I'm different. You see, God would have me to do this because it is His will. You see, my brothers and sisters, the heart would deceive you very easily to have you to think that you are okay as long as you come on a Sunday or Wednesday and you participate in the tithes. You pay weekly. You pay annual, which is your tithes. See, we must not confuse that to how we pay our tithes. The Bible only describes people that pay a tenth on everything that they own. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do it right regardless. So the way we pursue that is prayer. We need to ask God what we need to do. And whatever He leads us to do, we do it. That's called obedience. That's better than giving money. Giving God obedience is good enough for me if it was my church. Okay, so in our journey, we're going to look at these three words. So the word Awa is a Hebrew word. So that word is empiricized. The son's, it means the son's guilt. So, see, that's why I hate using this thing. But it caused trouble or sorrow and emptiness. So what this word means in the Hebrew is it's not saying the word iniquity, which is also a different language of a word. In English, it would just be sin. But even iniquity is a different language word, and these are the child root words that it derives from. So Awan is iniquity itself means unequal to God. The child word of iniquity, Awa, means the son's guilt, the sons of guilt. So the child of guilt, which means you choose guilt over your God, which makes guilt your God. So you are a child of guilt. Because to be a child of God, you must do what God instructed. And that's not covet. So you covet because you're guilty. Or you covet because you feel guilty. So it causes trouble. It means called trouble or sorrow. either one. It's an empty size. Words, you feel empty inside. You feel what we would say nowadays, like nothing. Generally, the word of God is focused on the pain that sin brings. So an example of this is found in Genesis 35 and 18. So in Genesis 35 and 18, verse 18 said, "It comes to pass as her soul was independent, for she died, that she called his name Belna, but his father called him Benjamin." You see, my brothers and sisters, look at this. Where Rachel named Benjamin Belma or Beldamna, the word ah, say Hebrew word, is a deceiver of awa. So the word ah is a deception to the word awa, or literally mean that the son of my troubles with her dying death. So as she literally named her son, the guilt or the child of guilt will be called in her contents the son of my guilt, of my trouble. So remember, the word means sons of guilt, but it also can be called trouble or sorrow. So in the contents of Genesis 35 and 18, she will name her child not Benjamin, but her child would be named the child or my sorrow. So in its contents is sorrow. He would be called Benjamin to hide that particular truth from others. This is something you would want to hide. This becomes a transgression to God. Bringing injury to others is also a transgression to God. So I'm not saying that we can always help it, and we try to make an excuse of how much shame that we would have had to go through. It would be God's will for us not to go through that shame, right? That's us making that up. Okay, I'm not saying it is God's will for us to go through that shame, but it is not, lying is not a way out neither. You ask God what to do, and God will give you instruction. You follow God's instruction, that's the best way to go. Lying is just an easy, quick way out. And it continues to hide what is guilt, shame, or sorrow, which causes the iniquity, the parent word. So, you see, guilt and breakfast to iniquity cannot be separated. Guilt is the parent word. Hello? So, moral guilt, however, is not an access from its meaning. It is also used to refer to idolatry and is the grandparent to the word guilt and iniquity. So, if we derived guilt from iniquity, which can be also sorrow and pain, And then that were morally come from the word idolatry. So to covet is to idolize something else as God. As a man cannot get a woman out of his heart, there lies the guilt of anybody knowing that a man's lust for a woman burns for his neighbor's wife, which all go back to the additional laws coming from the law of Noah. So all 7 laws are in the 10 Commandments, and the 3 additional laws aim towards covetousness and idolatry, which makes 10. That is the 10 Commandments. So, in Hosea 5:8 says this: below the ram's horns in Gideon, the trumpet in Ramah, cry aloud at Beth-avar. Look, behold you, O Benjamin. So, every idol themselves, as in Hosea 5:8, where Hosea called Bethel, it literally means the house of God. The word that it came from is Anlik. I once before in another video talked about the leeway that is on the boat. It literally comes from